At the beginning, we completed a 5-day sailboat training course, which is quite interesting, considering that we had no previous experience with boats, except for a couple of trips on large ships. And after passing the exams, successful completion, we set off to conquer the wild lands. Let's go, come on, come on. My dream came true. Now we can make our films wherever it takes us. And so that our life doesn't seem like honey at all, then we chose Alaska for the route. I even apologize for the details, even the panties are wet, but that was so much fun. The deeper we swim, the more extreme the nature and the more interesting our history. On a journey where we share our life on a boat. We explore places to which there are no paved roads. And most importantly, let's meet amazing people. Well, let's go. Or rather, they swam. All those who are thirsty for adventure are welcome aboard. Sailing Stories. This is a channel about our around-the-world boat trip, where we meet amazing people and share with you a piece of their exciting life. Well, let's go. Or rather, they swam. Alaska is a harsh land, filled with majestic glaciers, impassable forests and, of course, unpredictable weather. The place that shapes a person, and not a person a place. The locals don't even consider themselves Americans. We are Ice-Alaski pride, they declare. No wonder. What Villi decided to start their sea voyage from this very region. We are now near Cook Inlet, where our story begins. A story about the interaction of a person with an amazing natural phenomenon. We're filming a story about surfing in Alaska. But not the kind of surfing we imagine. This is something completely different. There is one AR in the bay, which is part of Cook Inlet. If you're lucky, then you can see the rarest anomalous long wave. It can be seen only in 3 places on our planet. And I hope we can find it here. But it's not that simple. Firstly, we just recently bought our boat, and they didn't even sail anywhere on it. In the second, we just completed a 5-day sailing course yesterday, where they essentially ran a training yacht for just a couple of hours. And now we are so smart and decided to sail for 3 days to another city, to film the story about Semyon. Well, let's see what comes of this. So from Seoul we went to the city of Witter. It's about 220 kilometers, which is not so little for a sailboat. And of course how, you guess, nothing went according to plan. We got caught in a terrible storm, fought as best they could with electricity. There was gasoline and it was all used up halfway. This path was taken in a zigzag, because they fought with the wind and the current against us for 2 whole days. I even thought about it, what the universe is hinting to us. More precisely, he practically shouts in her ear, that such a life is not for us. To be honest, it was really scary. Well, on the 3rd day we finally got to the place, dropped anchor and looked back. It was so beautiful. What we thought, to hell with all the difficulties, when your day starts like this. We decided to stop in an ice-free deep water bay near the city of Uter. This city is very unusual, by the way. Just imagine. Its entire population lives in one building. The Bagesh Tower accommodates 220 residents' laundry, police station, hospital, kindergarten, and even a church. From this port, our search for the wave begins. This wave occurs once every 12 hours. And the best is only on the new moon. As now and on the full moon. In total, it turns out a couple of days to film this whole movie. We contacted Alaska's top surfer Pete in advance. We hope it will help us find and see a unique wave. But first we need to find the pit itself. We get ready and set out to look for our guide. Since we stopped at anchor right near the city, then we need to sail for about half an hour on a boat. So you need to double check it carefully. Did we take everything, in case we forgot something? Then the boat is not dead to you, and we won't get back to the boat so easily. Oh, right now. Aloha, my name is Peter Beach. I live here in Alaska and Indian, and I am the owner of Teayeser in the company. We help people get on the longest wave in America. It's Oliver. God. You can definitely tell he's a surfer. Although surfers in Alaska are not the same at all. That the surfer is somewhere in Hawaii or in Australia and Hawaii, the water is warm, clean, and they have sharks. You can surf those waves all day long. Here there are only 2 waves each. Once every 12 hours you leave. Find this wave, and you can surf on it for 5 minutes. Or you can even spend a whole hour. But in any case, you will wait 12 hours for the next wave. Usually if a surfer falls off a wave or misses it, then he has to wait for the next one. And only in Alaska does nature give surfers a second chance. If you fell off the wave, sometimes you can roll over again, and rise again on the same wave. This doesn't happen anywhere. That is, you have a chance to use the same wave twice. Will and I are already burning with impatience to see the Northern Sierra. And we are already close. Beep, beep. We jumped into the pit car and finally, we see the road that leads to the wave. This year the canal is going to the south side, where is the peninsula of Cinema. And it passes at the foot of those mountains. So if we want to ride the wave on this side, we have to row about 4 miles. And then one more, 2 miles down to get to that section of the wave. Pete knows the wave very well, and can predict its movement very accurately. After all, he has been carefully studying this wave for 10 years now, and records her behavior in his diary. This is where the channel appeared, and this is the place where he used to be. So tracking it, we can predict where the wave will be. Mud and ice walls were on the north side. Under 6 meters high, the current cut off the shore, and I went in and caught him. It's cool to be scared. Yes, we are leaving India. We'll go around the whole bay to get to the theory of Gain AR and get to the hull. Then I hope we will be able to surf the wave for 20 minutes. I hope you guys will be able to take some good shots. While we were driving, we were lucky enough to meet another surfer. On the way we were joined by Pete's friend Guy. We are approaching the place. But before we start filming, we need to at least find out something about this wave. Let's climb the cliff and see what's going on. Maybe we can come up with a plan for the guys, the wave we are trying to capture. It's called a bore wave. This is an abnormally high tidal wave, which is created in the mouths of rivers, or as in our case on the bay. It is here that it is one of the largest in the world. The difference between low tide and high tide is 12 meters. And that's exactly the difference, plus bottom topography, gain arm theory, and creates a wave. She rises so high that you can surf on it, while Pete and Guy put on their wetsuits. We are looking for a place to shoot with a fork. The excitement is growing, because we're about to see that. Why did we come this far? I didn't even have time to look back, as he was already in the water and began to swim. Where did he sail to? Where should we film? Where is the best place? I climbed the rock. I thought that at least there would be a good view from there. But to be honest, I didn't even understand what I was filming. The wave will go from the left or from the right. How big will it be? How much will they tolerate them? Nothing is clear. In general, all these questions are swirling around in my head. Something sparkled in the distance. Yes, that's it. Well, this is the long-awaited one. A famous wave here in Alaska. Holy shit, now I understand why she's so famous. We all get into the car and drive off. Wait, where are we even going? They just rode this wave. Where to go next? Okay, so you're coming to me at the NBU. When I looked at the map, everything became clear. We get it. Let's go around the whole bay. And the boys will be able to jump on the boards again. Wait for her. She will arrive and they will endure the dacha. This is fucking awesome. Pete learned about this natural and unique wonder from the newspaper. Many years ago, I cut out a photo from a newspaper and hung it on the refrigerator. And at that moment I realized this is what I want to do. As we can see, this wave for Pitt is much bigger than just a chance to surf. I have a special connection with the wave. When I started surfing, I was going through a difficult period in my life. Divorce and my wife left with her daughter. For me, it was not just a wave. This was my therapy. I went there every day. And even if I didn't catch the wave, I still spent several hours there, just staying in nature and trying to keep myself in hand. And over the years, it turned into exercise and entertainment. And now with the company Ties Surf, it's also a salary. And so we arrived on the other side of the bay to catch the same wave. But the question remains open. Will we be able to take the necessary positions by the time she arrives, or is she still faster than us? Okay. Place and sector. And here she is. It means we arrived on time. I was so inspired by Nordic surfing that I asked PETA to teach me how to ride too. I'm not a surfer, and the chances that I believe in myself at all are zero. So let's see. Steeply. We rowed for about 20 minutes, but it seemed like an eternity to me. Then you wait a long time, and then you don't see her yet, but you can already hear. And at that moment, I will tell you, it becomes completely unsettling. And then and a complete failure. And the most offensive thing, that your next attempt will be in 12 hours. What can I say here? With the help of pedals, without help I think I wouldn't be able to get on this wave. But at the same time, we saw other guys there. No one could get up. That's why I think that I cope with Danube better than others. We sailed here to see with your own eyes the longest wave on the planet. Towards AIDS, we were even more impressed. His love is quite so deep and pure. He adjusts his whole life to her schedule, infinitely respects her power, and always looks forward to a new meeting. At the same time, the wave gives him a feeling of happiness in return. Joys and, most importantly, emotional support. Who would have thought that in the end we will film a love story? This is just the beginning of our journey. But living on a boat for only a week, you already understand very clearly that you are now closely connected with nature. And it seems to me that we also have a very bad relationship. In general, it's time to move on. We have already chosen the next unique story. I wonder which one. Well then, come with us. Or rather, they swam.
Everything started beautifully. But it ended as always. Everyone who is thirsty for adventure is welcome to the set. Sailing Stories. This is a channel about our round-the-world boat trip, where we meet amazing people, and we share a piece with you. Exciting life. Well, let's go. Or rather, they swam. As already noted in previous episodes, on the line to most places can only be reached by air or water. This week, we are planning to get to the glacier in the Danus, which is located 120 kilometers north of us. But of course, listen, our boat can't sail. That's why our plan is to return to Witter City next week. We'll meet the guys there, who have a very interesting plan. How to get to this glacier. We spent the last week in the Gulf like rain. It is at the northwest end of Prince William Sound. Went hiking. Enjoyed the berries. Tried to catch fish. Yes, we tried. Catch a big fish. Catch a little fish. But in reality, you can catch any fish you like. To be honest. When we bought a fishing rod, I told my parents, "Ooh, we're going to fish." They said you can. I thought it wasn't that I couldn't do it, of course. But wait, what's so special about Alaska? Of course I'll catch a lot of fish. No. Well, now it's time to get ready and go. The wind is blowing towards the city for new filming. To make breakfast good, all you need to do is add a couple of rice. Was yesterday's dinner? I'll tell you a secret. The fork is responsible for dinners on the boat, and I'm for breakfast. It took us less than 2 days to get there. Cities, and tomorrow morning we'll get up at 5 a.m. Good morning, we got up very early and now we are on our way. Meet a cool person, which develops super powerful boats, which can go up rivers. On almost any complexity. I hope it will be cool. And also we are now going to the tunnel in this city. A tunnel that works in one direction. And all the cars are driving at the beginning of the hour and at the end of the hour everyone is driving in the other direction. So it turns out it's open once an hour. The only way you can get in. The only way to this city is through this tunnel. By the way, this tunnel is 4 kilometers long. Is the longest in the United States. My name is Nathan Bloom and I come from Anchorage. My hobby is designing boats. Mini boats in particular. This is my passion and I am in love with this process. The reason I got into this hobby. Thirst for research. Thirst to get to the rivers, valleys and mountainous areas, which are inaccessible without a helicopter or airplane. And here you can see what others can't. A chance to go sailing down the river and get hundreds of kilometers into the wilderness. This is what keeps me here in Alaska. Yes, through the sand goat. I usually try not to damage the boat too much. But sometimes it can't be avoided. Often this is the only way out. You turn the corner. And there is a tree trunk. Well, you just decide to jump over. When you don't know, sometimes it's easiest to jump with good speed. Then getting stuck is part of the game. We didn't build these boats for lakes. We build them to see what is inaccessible even. And Nedden became first, who started developing high-speed boats in Alaska. But very soon after him came the right Peter. By the way, he is an old believer here in Alaska. And my name is Petraphonin. And I was born here in Alaska, in the training ground. And we moved here when I was about 3 years old. And so I live here. From Omar. I built the first boat. And decided to sell it and build another one. Watch business will be somewhere. So and started this. Buildin'. I'm going. I built the last one now and there are only 2 of them in the world. We're going today. And we'll take you. Big. Along the river. They drive fast. How fast, Hold on, just make it ha 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 ha. So, let's see what today brings. Maybe we'll get stuck in. I have a winch on my boat, we'll see if we have to cope with the background. I think we'll definitely cope. And in general the guy said that. And we'll go today. Yeah, well, let's try to go there. Where they have never been and even more. That maybe no one even got there. Let's see if we can do it or not. That's totally cool. At first glance, these boats certainly impressed me. But it's not like they blew my mind. This is my bear spray. We have bears here. So you never know what you might encounter in these adventures. It can't be compared to anything. I rode motorcycles. rode off-road trucks, ATVs and snowmobiles, rafted down rivers, but nothing brings as much adrenaline as these boats. Oh God, they were right. These things can almost fly. It was the most extreme. What have I ever done in my life? Imagine yourself on a roller coaster for the first time in your life. And this is this feeling. When will you rush down now? And this feeling. For 12 hours. I always underestimate them. Simply amazing where they can go. And how shallow can it be there? You literally rush over the stones, and there are only a couple of centimeters of water under you. The main thing is to accelerate at full power, and the boat will not stop on these stones. This is a very powerful adrenaline. This is that moment speed. When the boat seems to fly over the water, and you feel that she is like a sharp knife that cuts butter. Then even the slightest movement of the steering wheel, and you feel how she changes. It causes a feeling of fear. But at the same time you just think, wow, this is so cool. This is amazing. You just look at the speedometer and can't believe your eyes. Was it difficult to film? Yes, because sometimes we jump so high that I didn't even know whether I should hold the camera or hold yourself, and what to do anyway. Also vacuum 2 barrels of gasoline, which I had to hold with my foot. Otherwise they would have flown overboard. Don't tell Mom. Hee, oh, I'm crazy about you. I knocked him down crazy about bald with Greymoor. Oh fuck, now I'm completely mine even. Sorry for the details, even the panties are wet. But it was so much fun. Ha ha, huge wave just rolled in. Of course I don't know us now. With a camera because it's obvious that she was completely wet. And despite all the difficulties, because the boats broke down periodically, we got stuck many times, we were still able to achieve our goal. The purpose of creating these boats: give to as many people as possible. Join our adventures. The opportunity to be with friends, get through difficult sections, and compete in different segments. And then you look at each other and realize Yes, we did it. We've been through this. These emotions on the faces, and that's what makes my work unique. At the end of a short section, friends turn to each other, and they say, "I can't believe it. This is just something." And that's why I like it so much. What I do. We have amazing mountain ranges, stunning waterways. Here are resources at hand, which are almost nowhere on the planet, or there just aren't any left. And the desire to explore these places. It's in each of our blood. It's not even a choice, for me it's a duty. Regardless of circumstances and weather, we always spend time in nature. This is the main reason why many choose Alaska. Maybe it's because that I knew absolutely nothing about these boats and did not place any expectations on them. And maybe because we were very similar in spirit to the guys. But this day is for me Villa turned out to be one of the best days of our lives. Thanks Nathan and Peter for this incredible adventure. This is how I wanted to end this episode. But it would be unfair not to mention our return home. I think it's fucking awful after all this. Peter and I are just fucking nuts. But look what they did to the guy with the fork. Ha ha wow. Just took. And they went by boat. To the beach. Bo. Sketchy emo directed by Piers Mount. Ha 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 hi Vlad, you ripped it off. Ha ha ha, he's already got a cupcake. Guys, from here. Accidentally jumped here. Ha ha. You know you always expect the worst. You always count on that something will go wrong. And if something goes wrong, this makes the adventure even more unforgettable. And it seems to me, what exactly, this is how memories are actually stored in the memory. Because you're struggling and trying not to panic. All in all, for me this is the purpose of the word adventure. See what kind of trouble I can get into. Get stuck or something like that. And how can I get out of this? After such adventures, life on our boat seems great. Cute and definitely mega safe. To be honest, I don't know. I would sign up for such adventures every weekend. How do the guys do it? Or maybe not. And what about you? Would you risk trying?
For all who thirst for adventure, welcome aboard. Sailing Stories. This is a channel about our round-the-world boat trip, where we meet amazing people, and we share a piece with you. Exciting life. Well, let's go. Or rather, they swam. Yeah, so we screw up. Tokita, you will see that teddy bear. But the problem is that this week we are filming a movie about airplane pilots. And he said that he could fly us. If only we could find a safe place where there will be no waves. According to the map, we seem to have found such a place. But at such a speed. I'm afraid we won't make it in time for his arrival. With nickname What is the pilot's name? We met in Enrich. There on Lake Hood he has his own small airbase. My name is Nick Cunningham. I am the owner of Regal Airlines here in Anchorage. We fly these seaplanes all over Alaska, enjoying the incredible scenery. This lake and its surroundings, with all kinds of planes on every square meter. Just an incredibly interesting place. This is of course not surprising. The world's busiest seaplane base is located here. Hence the peak season. More than 200 flights depart per day. You know, if you need to get to a place which is not connected to the road system, and this is the majority here, then you have only a few options on foot. Dog sleds and airplanes. And honestly, I will always choose a plane. Nick said that if we end up together on his day off, where he can land the plane, then he will take us to one of his favorite places. So our joy knew no bounds when we finally got to the surprises. And even a day earlier, we chose Surprise Coffee, because if you look at this place on the map, can be seen that it is surrounded by small islands, which we hope will create protection from bad weather, and this place will be ideal for landing the plane. And since we have a whole day to spare, then you can do household chores. We're out of water on the boat, but since we are in Alaska, then of course it's not a problem. Everything you need, so this is to find a waterfall. Wild boar. What, nothing are burning. Already here, then why not explore the area? Alaska is not just the largest state in America, So he's actually that gigantic. What can it contain? All of California, Texas, and even Montana. But surprisingly, there are practically no roads here. So it's not surprising that Alaska already has popular light aviation, especially seaplanes, which can land not only in the ocean, of course when he is so calm, but also on almost any lake. And in Alaska there are more than 3.1 million. Here. I'm ready. Must. Sit somewhere there. Our boat is right here, right here. And it's natural for me. Bring a spray with you. From bears. I hope I won't have to use it. And how did we choose the place? And landed perfectly. Oh, up, guys, up. So here we are at Surprise Cove, just about 15 kilometers from Blackstone Bay. Blackstone Glacier. So let's load up. And then we'll fly. It's not far at all. This is the northern end of the Harding ice field, on the Kenai Peninsula. We can fly over the glacier for a bit, and then land in the ocean right at the foot of. And we will have some time to take pictures of beautiful landscapes. And there is also a waterfall about 100 meters from a hanging glacier, under which I plan to land. I mean, it's just a waterfall, so it will be like this, as it is. But there aren't that many such big waterfalls, which hang from the glacier at 10 kilometers. Seagulls Ocean. Prince William Sound. You took it right. You know, flying is flying. You can take a plane anywhere in the world. Working with the machine, with the technology you use. Always one and the same. But the location can determine how it's all applied. And Alaska is clearly the place where all your skills will come in handy, and it affects everything, starting from the weather, mountains of the ocean, vast distances of remoteness. There are no roads here, no infrastructure. There are no people. When you take off, you find yourself in the wild. And she's really wild here. It attracts a certain kind of people. They like to be in nature, hunting and fishing enthusiasts. And of course, these are independent people. And if you have the right character, are you moving here? You may know, really succeed and get the most out of it. What does Alaska offer you? That's exactly it. What did Nika do? I really enjoyed my experience when I was learning the art of piloting in the South Mini Cell. It was quiet and calm. And this little Cessna 140 with rear chassis, which I bought, became an integral part of my life. I've never looked back since then.